Today on an all-new Dr. Phil. Their out-of-control 16-year-old drinks and does drugs.
She was threatening to kill assistant principal.
The only person I threatened to kill was her and her husband.
I've had a drink with my daughter.
How's that working for you, Mom? Did you guys go to a liquor store this weekend?
Yes, we did.
Is that all right?
No, it's not all right. If you want to know, hell no, it's not all right.
What's wrong with that?
This entire family is dysfunctional with drugs and alcohol. Let's do it.
Have a good show, everybody. Here we go.
This is a safe place to talk about hard things.
Stand by. We'll count you down.
Today's going to be a changing day in your life.
5, 4.
I am not giving up on you. Today we're talking to a family living in abject fear of their 16-year-old daughter, Kimberly, who prefers to be called Viper. Why? Well, because vipers are filled with venom and like to bite people. In the last 2 years, her mother, Kim, says her daughter has physically attacked her, been handcuffed by police, dropped out of high school, run away multiple times, stolen and crashed her truck, spent 38 days in juvenile hall, tried to burn down the house, and even wrote a murder plan to shoot her mother and stepdad while they slept. Now, Kim says Kimberly does not respond to discipline, and if she tries to tell her no, the retaliation has been physical and bloody. Now, Mom says I'm the only one that she believes can help make a difference. Well, we're going to find out about that today, and it may come in a form that she is not expecting.
My 16-year-old daughter is like a caged animal.
I'm a bitch.
When I try to discipline Kimberly, she goes into a level 10 rage every time.
Away from me.
When she was 8, she was throwing homework in the teachers' faces. She hit 11, she was sneaking off and going to like the park and spray painting.
When I was in school, I threatened this teacher, and I told her I was going to pee on her desk.
She was threatening to kill assistant principal. She threatened to push kids down the stairs. A year ago, I was taking her phone away, and she kicked me in my stomach, punched my arm, and scratched my face. About a week ago, she texted me asking me if she could go hang out with a friend. When I decided that no, she could not go, she was texting me that she hopes I die and crash my vehicle on the way home.
The only person I threatened to kill was her and her husband.
2 years ago, Kimberly stole my truck. She wound up jumping a ravine and a ditch.
I was airborne for a few seconds, and then I crashed into another canyon, and I got stuck.
Then I found her journal in the truck. She had a murder plan, how she's going to steal her mom's gun and shoot her mom and stepdad. When I saw the journal, I had her put in a psychiatric facility.
The day that I got out of the mental hospital, I was sent to juvie.
About a week after she got home, she barricaded herself in her room, and I had to force my way through and realize that she'd lit a fire in her closet. On the back of her bedroom door, she had written, "I'm not sorry for anything I've done. Please go kill yourself."
I really hate my mother. She's a piece.
I am afraid that she might kill me one day.
But Kimberly's mother wasn't the only person who wrote to me. So did their family friend Carly, who has known Kimberly since she was just 7 years old. Now, Carly says that Kimberly isn't just a defiant teen. She's also doing hard drugs, ecstasy, cocaine, meth, and talking to older men online.
Right now, Kimberly is out of school. She's homeless. She's doing drugs. Kimberly has bragged to me about ecstasy, cocaine, meth.
I lost a lot of my memories after I started doing the drugs. It was kind of the point of doing the drugs, was to lose all of them.
Kimberly has gotten online and sold pictures and videos and meetups, and I believe that it goes towards supporting her habit.
She was posting on social media premium content, it was titled, and she was selling pictures of her body parts. You could pay a certain price to talk with her or see different parts of her.
She tells people she's 18 and she's not. I have brought up to Kimberly that it is illegal to make child porn of yourself, and I've told her, you could get arrested for this.
Nothing scares me.
one time. I picked up Kimberly from an apartment she was staying with a strange man that I didn't know, but it was a man and his uncle.
Now that Kimberly's taken on this other persona of this Viper girl who doesn't care, I'm afraid that she's gonna end up in jail, or worse, she's gonna end up dead.
Well, joining me virtually are Kimberly's mom, Kim, and family friend, Carly, who also wrote in. Kim, let me start with you. What has been your parenting strategy with Kimberly?
It's been extremely difficult since she was little bitty. My parenting strategy, I don't know that I ever really had one.
You say you think I'm the only one that can help in this situation, and you may be right, because one thing I will do is give you an unvarnished look at reality here. I've made a list of Kimberly's poor conduct. Your daughter drinks, smokes, does drugs. She sold body pics online. She chats with older men, that she's run away multiple times. She's attacked you, made homicidal threats, vandalizes, started fires in the house, stole your car, wrecked it jumping a ravine. If you're a good role model, where did she pick all of this up?
Social media.
Okay, has social media parented her as opposed to you?
Yes. I felt like it was out of my hands. It was out of my control.
You said, and this is a quote from you, that you just kind of gave up when she was 10. And her sister says that she raised her instead of you. That she gave up her adolescence and became Kimberly's mother because you simply weren't there.
It's true. Casey took on a huge brunt of, that's true. It was my working. She stepped up. I had to pay the bills. I did not know what else to do. I was going to therapy with my girls. But it was just extremely difficult.
I understand that you caught the two of them, Casey and Kimberly, doing meth not long ago, and that Kimberly ran away for about 4 days after that. Is that true, Carly?
Yes, sir. So she ran away. Casey was kicked out of the home, and then Kimberly ran away. She was gone for about 4 days, and then Casey found her in an abandoned building. She hadn't eaten in 4 days, and she was freezing. So Casey picked her up and took her back to her apartment.
Kim, were you there when she got home?
No, I wasn't.
Were you in a bar drinking?
Yes.
So your daughter's been doing meth. She runs away. She's been gone for 4 days, starving, freezing in a building, and she comes home after 4 days, and you're too busy drinking in a bar to be there when she gets home.
Yes.
Is that part of the parenting strategy you don't have?
No, I'm overwhelmed, and anytime we're around each other, it's like fire and gasoline. She didn't want to see me. She didn't even want to come home, and I made a bad choice.
Do you smoke pot with your daughter?
No.
You don't?
No.
Because Carly tells us that she has witnessed you smoking pot with your daughter.
If you're talking about Kimberly, that's not true.
You've seen her smoking pot with Kimberly.
Yes.
So, Kim, is Carly lying to me?
I think she's mistaken. I would ask Kimberly. Kimberly would tell you I haven't.
And you smoked pot with your other daughter?
I have.
What the hell? What's your theory there?
I guess I view things differently than everybody or some people. I mean, I've had a drink with my daughter. I've smoked a little bit of marijuana with my daughter.
Smoking dope with your daughter. How's that working for you, Mom?
It's not working.
I'm trying to find out what I have to work with here, and I'm just not seeing much judgment. Well, coming up, she stole her mom's truck, spent 38 days in juvenile hall, says she loves drugs, has no plans to stop. So we're going to meet Kim's 16-year-old daughter next. She calls herself Viper. She'll be here after the break.
My sister just took care of me a lot, and she was a better parent than my parents were. I don't feel like my mom has any right to tell me what to do, because when my mom is around, all she does is drink and sleep and just watch TV.
And later, what happened on your birthday?
They say I attacked her. I didn't attack her. I reached for her phone, and there was a physical altercation.
Kimberly's been angry at me since she was about 7 years old when I divorced her father. I have tried everything. We've been in, therapy, and then eventually she's in psychiatric hospitals and in juvie. Kimberly just got angrier and angrier. We've been trying to get her into residential treatment, and there's always seems to be something in the way. And in the meantime, she's killing herself and trying to kill me too.
Well, that was Kim, who says she's lost all control of her 16-year-old daughter, Kimberly, and lost control at the age of 10. That's 6 years ago. Kim and family friend Carly say Kimberly is violent, uses drugs, and needs attention from older men. But Kimberly says her mom, well, she just says she wasn't much of a mom, leaving most of the parenting to her big sister, Casey.
After my mom and dad divorced and my mom started working 100+ hours a week, I felt like I became mom to Kimberly.
I was an EMT. I worked 24 to 48 hour shifts.
I was probably around 11 and Kimberly would have been 7. I had to get her up and ready for school. I had to get her from school and walk her home, make sure her homework was done, make sure she ate, showered.
My sister just took care of me a lot, and she was a better parent than my parents were. I don't feel like my mom has any right to tell me what to do, because when my mom is around, all she does is drink and sleep and just watch TV.
Most of the responsibility when Kimberly gets into any kind of trouble is still on me. For example, the day after Thanksgiving, my sister and I got caught getting high in her closet. My mom freaked out.
My sister left with her friend, and I left with my friend, and I didn't come back.
She was gone for 4 days and was strung out on meth.
My mom made no attempt to find Kimberly.
I wasn't found. I texted my sister and I asked her to come get me.
My mom wouldn't come get her herself. She told me I had to figure it out. I don't have a license. I don't drive, but somehow that's left on me. So Carly comes to get Kimberly and she takes her back to my mom's house. When they get there, my mom is nowhere to be found. Knowing that her runaway teenage daughter is on the way home, she went to the bar. So they wait in the driveway for an hour for my mom to get home from the bar.
Once Kimberly came home, it was as if nothing happened. I didn't know what to do.
My mom plays the victim, and she definitely just acts like she wants the best for me, but she doesn't do for me. I tell her to her face all the time. I say, Mom, I hate you. You're never there. All you do is drink. And she just acts all clueless and delusional.
Well, joining us virtually is 16-year-old Kimberly and her older sister, Casey. Kimberly, let me start with you. Why do you think your mother wanted you to participate in this?
Because she doesn't know what to do with me.
You had a murder plan written out in a journal or a notebook, and this was a plan that just basically said, okay, so we all know how I am psychotic and hate my mom, so I'm going to kill them. So once in a while, whenever they go out for drinks, they accidentally leave their bedroom door unlocked. So my plan is to steal my mom's gun. When they get home, wait for them to go to bed, and then shoot them in the head. And then I already know nobody will report the gunshot because people shoot guns all the time. So then I'll pack my stuff, steal my mom's truck and all the money and food I can, and then head straight for Oregon. I know what you're thinking. It's not that easy, or, oh my God, crazy blank. And so, yeah, I know there's a huge risk. I will get caught. So if the cops catch up to me, I will just shoot myself in the head. LMAO, yeah, I'm crazy, get over it. Also, we'll leave my dogs plenty of food. I can't bring them with me just in case I get caught. I don't want them to see me die. I'm sorry, everyone. I love you. P.S. I hope my mom knows this is all her fault. If she hadn't have put me through so much blank in Louisiana and Canyon Lake, I might not have done it. If you're reading this, I've already done it. I'm sorry. Crazy will be crazy. Love your kids. Hold your loved ones close. They need you more than you realize. even the teens with a big attitude. All we need is love. 3 heart emojis, Kimberly. That's pretty well thought out.
Big brain.
Why didn't you do it?
Because I didn't want to get caught.
Did you want them dead?
Yes, I still do. I hate them.
Well, hating them is one thing, wanting them dead's another. Why do they need to die?
Well, if they were dead, they'd be out of my way.
And then what are you going to do? Last time you were gone for 4 days and you were hungry in a freezing building. How are you going to take care of yourself?
I'll figure it out. I always do.
Well, you didn't sound like you figured it out very well that time.
I was still alive, wasn't I?
I'm wondering how you're going to get by in the world if all of these people in your life just disappeared, not killing them or them dying, if they just all disappeared and said, fine, go do whatever you want to do. How would you get by? I'm just curious.
Random people online.
And why would they give you money?
Because I'm hot.
So you would prostitute yourself? Is that what you're saying?
No, nobody said that.
Well, what are you saying then? Be clear.
I can make money just off of being myself. People want attention. They're lonely little.
Casey, what do you think about what she's saying?
I think that she thinks that she can take care of herself, but she needs people. She needs a team. I feel like everybody failed Kimberly.
Is mom guilty of starting some of the fights with her daughters? Or is she a victim in all this? We'll talk about that next. And at 10 years old, you just checked out and just let Kimberly kind of spin out.
That's how they view it, and so that's what it is.
Yes.
Well, that's what I heard you. That's just what I heard you say.
There has been multiple times that my mom has gotten drunk and gotten physical with me. The last time she came home drunk from the bar on her birthday, she was pissing me off and I popped off on her, and so she slapped me in the face, and so I slapped her, punched her, and scratched her in the face and threw her on the ground and started beating her ass.
Call the cops. Do it then.
She called the cops, and then I was taken to the mental hospital. That's the last time she put her hands on me.
Well, that was Kimberly talking about how her mom instigates some of their physical fights. Her sister Casey and family friend Carly say Kim is the real problem in this house. And Kim, you've got a lot of people saying that this isn't all Kimberly, that a lot of this is because of your unplugging, being irresponsible, not stepping up and being a parent, and that you drink and instigate a lot of the drama. What do you say to that?
I have to take responsibility where it's due. I don't know what to say. I just don't. I tried for the first few years after the divorce, and yes, I got tired. We still were going to therapy. I tried the advices that the therapist would give me, and everything seemed to escalate, and I just didn't feel like anything was helping, and I didn't know what else to do.
So are you saying that at 10 years old, you just checked out and just let Kimberly kind of spin out however she was going to spin out?
No, I did not check out when she was 10. That's how they view it, and so that's what it is.
Yes.
Well, that's what I heard you. That's just what I heard you say. It's not how they're characterizing. You just said, I tried as hard as I could till she was 10. Then I just didn't know what to do. So I just didn't do anything.
That is true. That's when things got increasingly difficult, and I did not know what to do.
What happened on your birthday?
I was taking her phone from her, and she got physical with me. They say I attacked her. I didn't attack her. I reached for her phone because she refused to give it to me, and there was a physical altercation.
Huh? Were you drunk?
Yeah, I scratched her.
No, I was not.
Were you drinking?
I was
yes,
not.
You were.
No, I was not. If you pull up the police, well, I don't know if it says anything in the police report about whether anyone was drinking or not, but I was not.
Kimberly, what happened?
You were drunk. she was drunk, and the cops said to me and my sister, yes, we smell alcohol in her breath. And my sister was there viewing the entire thing. She tried to take my phone, and so I put it under me, and she kept moving me around, pushing me around, trying to take it from me, and I wasn't having it. And so she slapped me a few times, and so I slapped her back and I scratched her.
I defended myself at one point. I don't remember slapping her.
You
No,
slapped me
I
a
don't
few
think
times
I-
before I even put a hand on you.
When you were swinging at me, I would grab your wrist.
No,
That
you
was
slapped me a few
pretty
times
much.
before I even tried to hit you. And Casey was there for that.
I don't hit my kids. I'm not a physical.
Yeah, okay.
I just,
Casey, what do you say about that?
They both got physical with each other. She was definitely intoxicated that night.
I'm trying to figure out what's going on here because you say, no, I wasn't drunk, I wasn't drinking. Kimberly says you were. Carly says you were. You say I don't hit my kids. Both of them say you do. What are you a blackout drunk and you don't remember this, or are you just not telling me the truth?
You're stupid. Stop lying and trying to make yourself look like the good person.
it's heartbreaking. It's how she feels.
Are you a blackout drunk and you don't remember this, or are you just not telling me the truth?
Not at all. I do not hit my kids.
Yeah, okay. Sure.
So you
And-
didn't slap Kimberly.
No.
You're a stupid bitch. You definitely did. Stop lying and trying to make yourself look like the good person when you know you're a piece of We all know.
I'm not trying to look like a good person, but I'm just defending that part of it. I'm not
You
defending
have hit me
drinking.
multiple
I'm not
times
defending
before.
that.
Casey has seen you hit me multiple times before. We've been out on the front porch smoking a cigarette. I got an attitude with you. You slapped me in the face before. You've slapped me in the face multiple times. It's not just the one encounter.
Well, here's a text from Kimberly to you, Kim. Kimberly, Mom, then blank. Answer. Oh my God, answer. Are you blank? Hello, text back, blank. I bet blank you. God, I can't blank wait until you die. Try to crash on the way home.
That was in response to me telling her she couldn't go with a 20-year-old man.
It was my 17-year-old female friend that I wanted to go see.
Then here's Kimberly sent to Carly. She kept ignoring me, so I guess I was right. She doesn't care and never has or will. So I got high and haven't stopped getting high since 10 p.m. last night. She will never blank love me and never has. I'm the highest I've been in so blank long. Feels like my first time I tried an upper, but this time it's blank ton of the strongest upper you can get in my area. Blank it drugs have never failed me or broke my heart. She does it all the time. I can't wait till the day she feels how I feel all the time. What do you think about that, Kim?
It's heartbreaking. It's how she feels. I don't know how to make it better. I don't.
When was the last time the two of you, Kim and Kimberly, had a civil conversation?
Just the other night we were playing Uno and Monopoly. It's up and down all the time. I never know when she's gonna be in a good mood or if she's gonna be angry, and
Yeah, so it's always me.
I didn't say that. Not at all.
I think that's why I'm here, Kimberly, because it's not always you, but like when I try to tell you that I'm worried or that I'm scared for you, then you make fun of me or call me names, and it's like I just want you to be okay. I want you to be alive. I want you to be happy. I don't know how exactly we got here, but I will do anything to fix this. Like, I love you so much.
I love you too.
Well, up next, we'll ask Kimberly's father why he thinks his daughter is rebellious and physically aggressive with everyone, including him. We'll hear what he has to say after the break. Did you guys go to a liquor store this weekend?
Yes, we did.
Me and our older sister decided to do that, who's 21. Is that all right?
No, it's not all right. If you want to know,
Why?
hell no, it's not all right.
After the divorce, my mom put a no contact order on my dad. He wouldn't stop drinking, and he becomes extremely aggressive, belligerent when he's drunk. And he also showed up to our house and tried to take us. He fought for a while to try and get his visitation back, but he couldn't stop drinking. So it's just kind of been the alcohol over us ever since.
Well, that was Casey talking about taking a back seat to her father's drinking problem. Now, Kim says she divorced him because he was an alcoholic, and ever since they split, her 16-year-old, Kimberly, has been out of control, rebellious, and violent. Now, Dr. Charles Sophie is a psychiatrist and the retired medical director of the County of Los Angeles Department of Child and Family Services for 22 years. He's also a member of the Dr. Phil Advisory Board, so thank you for being here, because I wanted you to weigh in on all of this.
Thank you.
Kimberly's father, Todd, is going to join us virtually now. Todd, are you there?
Yes, sir.
I'm trying to find somebody in here that has been a responsible adult in Kimberly's life. It sounds to me like that's kind of a futile attempt. You and Kim separated at 7, divorced at 8, got back together at 10, split again at 11.
Would you like me to
You've
tell
drugged these kids through hell and back.
No, that's not true. I found out or realized I was an alcoholic when I got a divorce. I guess before that I was a functioning alcoholic.
So where are you in your children's life now?
You know what? I'm wherever I can be. When I brought her up here, her mother just stopped her off in the driveway. I never even saw her mother. I relapsed after she'd been there a month, just for a couple of days, but Kimberly called her mom and said, I want to go back. So,
yeah, because
you know, I have my
tried to
problems,
choke me out.
but I've
Go
been
ahead,
seeing
Kimberly.
counseling.
Speak up, Kimberly.
I went back home because you took my phone. We got in an argument, and so you threw me on the ground and tried to choke me out. And I had to scratch you and hit you to get you off of me. And so, yeah, you were blackout drunk just like you always are. So
No, I'm not a blackout
Yeah.
drunk. I remember everything.
Oh, then why?
And what had happened
I called
when
Casey
I took her
and
phone, I can go with her mother on this. When you take her phone, it's like taking a piece of her heart away from her body. She goes ballistic and just flails at you. I also tried to block her swinging, and when she wouldn't stop, I pinned her down by the back of the neck. I never choked her.
Okay, so you're the hero in this story then.
I'm no damn hero, Dr. Phil. I'm not trying to play it.
Well, sounds
I
like
was
you are.
raised-
But now, did
No.
you guys go to a liquor store this weekend?
yes, we did.
And
and
whose
our older
idea was
sister,
that?
His.
Me and our older sister decided to do that, who's 21. Is that all right?
No, it's not all right. If you want to know,
Why?
hell no, it's not all right.
She's
Let me tell you what. He
Are
was
you
drunk
kidding
and
me?
was
Was that
the
a serious
entire time
question?
passed
Did you
out.
ask me a serious
Yeah.
question?
If she's 21 and can buy liquor, what's wrong with that?
Oh, what's wrong with that? How much time do you have? What's wrong with
What
that? This
difference does it
entire
make to you?
family,
That's-
entire family is
come
dysfunctional
on.
with drugs and alcohol.
Whatever.
You're the father, and you're
Whatever.
going and you're going to go
I
to
knew
a
this-
liquor
I
store.
knew this is how this was going to go.
And then he was passed out drunk in the car the entire time we were out, supposed to be hanging out around the city called Green to go around the little shops. He drank his bottle and then passed out over in the back seat while we went around the shops.
Okay, well, he's walked off. That's very mature, father. And he has the audacity to ask me what's wrong with that. Are you kidding me? When I think I've heard it all, I hear something else. We'll be right back.
When things get out of control, Kim calls the police on Kimberly.
We're calling the cops. Do it. It's going to be a fun night.
And I don't agree with that being a substitute for parenting. When Kim gets overwhelmed, she asks other people to step in and take over for her. She will send her to live with Casey. She will call me, or before she sent her to live with the neighbors. Kim needs to step up and be the mom that Kimberly needs.
Well, that was Carly talking about Kim's lack of parenting skills. Carly says it's time for Kim to finally take charge and parent her 16-year-old daughter, Kimberly. Now, we were just talking to Father Todd, who just clicked off because he didn't like what I was saying. It was his idea to take his daughters to the liquor store this weekend when we're focused on trying to figure out the dysfunction in this family, of which drugs and alcohol are clearly a part. So his contribution is, hey, in the run up to this, let's go to the liquor store, where he gets falling down blackout drunk. And Casey, you got drunk as well, right?
Yes, sir.
We have a little video clip of Casey rolling down a hill. Her roommate said she got blackout drunk this weekend after being upset when she saw her dad. Her roommate sent us this video.
What are you doing?
Well, at least you stopped before you rolled into the freeway. So yeah, Dad, good plan. Really good idea. Now, look,
Actually,
I
that
got to
was the
start
next
weighing in here for a minute, because Kimberly, I do not endorse hardly anything that you're doing, but I don't ask myself why you're doing it. I ask myself, why not? I get it. I understand that you are pissed off. I don't wonder why you're pissed off. I totally get it. If I were you, I would be hugely pissed off at my parents. I totally understand why you are. I understand why you're doing what you're doing and making the choices that you're making. I just wish you weren't, because you had better options. Dr. Sophie,
Yes,
what
sir.
needs to happen here?
Well, I think what you said to Kimberly is absolutely right on. I mean, Kimberly, you're a really great woman. You have a lot to offer. You know you do. You're an intelligent woman. I'm sorry that you were gypped like this, but you have to want to do better. And I think you do, but I think you're afraid maybe. The bottom line is she needs parents. She needs somebody to guide her, even if she doesn't want to hear that.
Kimberly, you're not the problem here.
Right.
You're a symptom of the problem here. This is a family dynamic, and you're just one of the symptoms of the family dynamic. And if nobody said this before, let me say it to you now. Kimberly, you're not the problem here.
Right.
This is a family dynamic problem, and you're the squeaky wheel. But Kimberly, Casey, I want you guys to know this isn't your fault. You're not bad for this. You're just making bad choices, which I understand. Coming up, Todd says his ex-wife, Kim, used to take their underage daughters to the bar. That's why I say I don't wonder why this is all happening. I would say, why not? We'll be right back. I'm back with Kimberly, Carly, Kim, Casey, intermittently Todd. And Todd is back now. Todd, can you hear us?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Kimberly, I have a question for you. Is there something that I can do, we can do to help you, to assist you? Is there something you want to do? Some goal you want to pursue, something that you want in your life?
I honestly don't really know. I don't want to live with my mom, so I don't want to live with my dad either, though.
Right.
So.
Well, that's what you don't want, and I totally get it. Is there something that you do want? I mean, where do you want to be in 5 years or 10 years? I know it's a hard question sometimes, but what do you want to do? What do you want your life to turn into?
I don't really know.
Casey, what do you want? What do you want to do?
I think that I really need to be in some type of therapy. I think that I need mental help.
Right. I understand. Kim, what do you think your daughters deserve?
More than I've been able to give them. I mean, they deserve happiness. They deserve a whole family that everyone can. I mean, I don't want to lose my kids, my relationship with them, because there isn't one really right now. But I just want them happy, and I don't know how to do that for them.
I'll be happy when I'm not around you anymore.
It's just been like this for years, and what help I've tried to get, it just doesn't. I feel like I'm fighting an uphill battle. I know I've made some bad choices I wish I could remedy, and I would if I could, and I will if I can.
But you're willing to work on this as a mother.
Yes, desperately.
To try and learn some things to do, to try to learn some ways to communicate.
Yes, I need some traction, something to help us all.
Because if you've got a willing spirit, it's never too late to learn new skills and to learn to do things in a better way. And Kimberly, I'm here to help you get whatever it is you want if you'll participate and work with me to help you do that. If I can figure out some ways to decompress this situation and help you get out of this pressure cooker and get some of the things you want, are you willing to participate in that?
It depends on what it is.
Well, it doesn't involve sending you away. I can tell you that. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about working with you to try to figure out how to get you to set some goals and get some things that you want in your life in a constructive way that is healthy and safe and makes you happy.
Yeah.
Well, we'll think and talk about that then. That's if you're willing to lean into it a little bit, that's all I can ask you to do. I can't ask you to commit to anything else because I'm not being specific about what it is, and that would be unfair.
Yeah.
And Casey, I do want you to have some therapy and some help with all this and how to do the things you want better. And I'm going to make arrangements for you with that with Doctor on Demand right away. It's one of our own companies, and it can get you teletherapy instantly. I'll set you up 10 sessions for that immediately so you can get started to set some goals and figure out some things that are important for you. So I'm going to get that started right away, and then we'll see what we can do on other fronts and figure out what to do, right?
Yeah, absolutely. As long as you're willing to do it, it's going to work. You guys are the identified patients of this group, but that doesn't mean you're really the patients. You're just the ones that are making noise.
This is a family situation. Yep. If you at home want your own Doctor on Demand, go to the Google Play Store, Apple Store, and download the Doctor on Demand app. Thanks for being here. We'll see you next time.
all-new Dr. Phil.
My dad has been faking illnesses. He claims he has liver cancer, 100 heart attacks.
Is he lying to his family?
Are you a con man?
No, sir.
Which doctor said you had 6 months to live?
This was in the ER.
I have that ER record, and he did not write that down.
That hospital scares me.
The one you go to twice a day sometimes? You've called 911 more than people call Domino's Pizza. Let's do it.
Have a good show, everybody. Here we go.
This is a safe place to talk about hard things.
Stand by. We'll count you down.
Today's going to be a changing day in your life.
5, 4.
I am not giving up on you. Is a former firefighter, EMT, who now claims to be in the fight of his life due to a long list of very serious health issues, including a dead liver from liver cancer and multiple heart attacks just this year. But there's just one hitch. All 3 of his daughters say their dad is a master manipulator, a liar, has extreme Munchausen's, and is not as sick as he pretends. His sister Terry also believes her brother is faking illnesses for attention, and it's hitting her niece Hillary the hardest. Terry says Carl went from being everyone's favorite to almost destroying the family with all of this nonsense. Take a look.
Carl's constantly lying about his illnesses. It's a strong possibility that Carl has Munchausen syndrome. Carl claims he has kidney cancer, bladder cancer, liver cancer. Carl did say that he had kidney failure. He's claimed that he's had 7 or 8 massive heart attacks, 2 last week.
I'm having chest pains right now.
I think this year he was probably calling 911 once, twice a week. Carl's claimed that he's needed triple and quadruple bypass surgeries, and that's not true. When he tells me that he had a heart attack and he's walking out of the hospital within an hour, that's a lie. Carl's told me multiple times that he's dying. Carl takes insulin for his diabetes.
I have to stick myself either injection or checking my blood sugar at least 25 times a day with a needle.
But Carl also drinks 10, 12 or more Pepsis a day. Why are you smoking? Why are you drinking these Pepsis? Why don't you do something to extend your life for your children? And it's like I'm talking to a brick wall. Carl takes a lot of different pills every day. Blood pressure medication, medication for his diabetes, high blood pressure. Carl posts a lot of pitiful, poor me posts on Facebook. Carl's relationship with his daughters is very strained. Everyone basically is done with Carl. Over the years, I've given Carl tens of thousands of dollars. Carl called me and told me last month that he hadn't eaten in like 20 days. I didn't believe that at all. If you don't eat for 20 days, you're not gonna be alive. I don't give Carl money anymore. He's a manipulative, self-centered person, and he has no feelings for what he does to anyone else.
Well, you don't have to guess where she stands. Carl's daughter Hillary says her dad harasses her nonstop about his health problems and fake illnesses, and she just can't take it anymore. Take a look.
My dad is a very good manipulator, con artist, and liar. My dad has been faking illnesses for 18 years. My father keeps himself sick on purpose. My dad takes an extraordinary amount of medication every single day.
Celexa, isosorbide, whip, carbendazole, Zantac, Seroquel. You know, I really can't remember what they give it to me for.
I do believe my father has Munchausen syndrome. Like, he'll eat a pack of gum and then call the ambulance because his blood sugar is high. My dad calls 911 sometimes 6 times a week. I believe my father's been in the emergency room at least 200 times in the last year. He has shut out everyone except for me simply because everyone else has given up dealing with him. I'm the last person that puts up with his. My dad will start calling my phone 6 o'clock in the mornings, and if I don't answer, he'll call and call. And when I answer it, he's begging me for something, whether it be money, Xanax, food, cigarettes, anything. When I cannot provide it, he starts cussing at me. This is ridiculous. I'm very sick of it. He has called me multiple times telling me he was dying, that he had like 3 to 6 months to live. That is not true. It is very unfair to me.
Okay, Why do you think this is going on, and when did it start? You said he used to be everybody's favorite, life of the party, fun guy.
Absolutely, he was.
When did it switch and why?
I think it switched probably in 97, maybe 96. And I don't really know why it switched. My father passed away in 97. You know, Carl had a back injury, started taking pain medications, and first it was Xanax, and he started taking pain medications and stuff. He became a different person.
You've confronted him about this. What have you said to him?
I've told him, I said, you know, Carl, you've got to stop doing the pills. He lies really bad about, you know, all these different illnesses that he has. And, you know, it's just kind of like you get to the point where you don't believe him anymore, you know. And I've just told him, I said, you're destroying your life. You're destroying your children.
But what's he say about it now? When you say, don't believe you, this is crazy, don't believe you, you stop doing this. What's he say?
I'm not lying. I am sick. You know, I've had kidney cancer. I have, you know, kidney failure. He told us 6 years ago that he was in renal failure. And my husband's like, well, what about dialysis? Oh, hell, I'm not taking that. I'm not doing that.
Well, when we say that he's used his dying language, this catastrophic language, here's some of the language that have come out in text. He says, and these are quotes, 4 heart attacks in 4 days, pray for me, I love you. This is like, I'm on my way out. Yeah. Pray for me, I love you. Next, quote, maybe the last time you talked to me, I love you. Quote, I'm going to die. Quote, I have a 5% chance of keeping my leg. Quote, I'm in the hospital with a very bad blood infection. Quote, I'm sorry for all I've done wrong to you. Quote, I'm scared of bottoming out in my sleep. I mean, just all of these, like, adios.
Oh,
I'm out.
He's pitiful. He's got that rolled down.
How do you respond? You've gotten some of these. Some of these are to you, not all of them. How do you respond?
A lot of the times I don't respond to him. I just kind of keep it to myself. It's hard to respond to him because when you try to question him about it, he just tells you, well, go ask the doctor. But then when you tell him you have talked to the doctor and the doctor said that's not true, he'll tell you, well, they're a liar.
Well, my theory is people don't do things in a pattern, in repetition, without some kind of payoff. You don't do it unless you get something out of it.
Right.
Okay? All of us, everybody, anything we do in repetition, we do it for a payoff. What is his?
Attention is one of the things that he does, but he also does it because he's hoping that you'll feel so sorry for him that you'll give him money.
Well, then that's his payoff.
That's his payoff.
Sympathy.
Sympathy.
Money. Is that why he puts these things up on Facebook? He puts these posts up on Facebook. If he hit his head, I guess, and he's got a picture with grandkids there, and his leg scuffed up. He puts these up on Facebook for everybody to see. Like,
hoping that everybody will just feel sorry and call him and say, oh, Carl, what can I do for you?
He's actually gone so far as asking for money, right?
Yes, sir.
Because January 6th, I mean, we're talking not long ago, I went to the doctor today and he said my liver was gone and I can't expect to live much longer. If you can help with donations for my medication, please send. Please help if you can. My life depends on it. Do people send money?
No. I used to give him money. That's the thing. That's the reason he's put these kind of things up is I cut him off about 7 years ago. And now he's begging for everyone. No one's going to send him money. No one believes him.
You say he just flat out told you that he had liver cancer and lymph node cancer, right?
Yes.
He didn't say, I might have, maybe, sorta, it's a possibility, hope I don't.
He hasn't.
He just said, I have liver cancer and lymph node cancer.
And I have 6 months to live. And that was 12 months ago.
Carl is here, I hope. So coming up, he told his family he has lung cancer, liver cancer, lymph node cancer, kidney and bladder cancer. He had 4 heart attacks within 4 days just this month. So if miracles happen, he's going to walk out here and we're going to hear what he has to say after the break.
My health is failing due to my heart, my liver shot. My doctor told me that he's never seen anyone take the amount of insulin that I take every day. I am in a dark place. My daughters say that they have forgiven me, but they haven't.
And later, which doctor told you only had a 5% chance of saving your leg?
It was the vascular surgeon.
As you beat the odds with your foot.
Right.
My dad constantly claims there is something wrong with him. It's always a new illness. My dad has told me that he has liver cancer, lymph node cancer, and kidney failure. None of that is true. I think my dad is claiming to have all these illnesses for attention. Coming all the way here for the Dr. Phil show is my ultimatum for my father. If he doesn't change after this, I will have to write him off. I can't do it anymore.
Well, Hillary says her father, Carl, is the greatest con artist to ever live. She says he has been faking illnesses for 18 years, and his health issues have cost her a personal life. But Carl says his long list of health issues are real, and he hates being a burden to the family. Take a look.
My family is broken apart because of bad decisions that I've made over the past several years. I was a serious addict for 15 years. I mean, it was just chaos. Currently, I'm not using pain medication or muscle relaxers. My health is failing due to my heart, my liver shot. 2 weeks ago, I was experiencing difficulty in breathing and chest pains, which is a textbook sign of a heart attack. Had 4 stents put in my heart. I am also a diabetic. I take 380 units of insulin, which is approximately 9 or 10 shots a day. My doctor told me that he's never seen anyone take the amount of insulin that I take every day. I check my blood sugar with a meter approximately 10 to 12 times a day. I have been in renal failure a couple of times because of my kidneys. I have to insert a catheter inside myself 7 to 8 times a day. It's tremendously uncomfortable. I've called 911 in the last year probably 7 times. I am in a dark place. A couple of my family members are not currently speaking to me. My daughters hold hard feelings toward me. They say that they have forgiven me, but they haven't.
Well, Carl, I'm glad you're here. How you feeling today?
I'm feeling okay.
Uh-huh. Are you a con man?
No, sir.
Are you conning your family? Are you conning people on the internet when you go on there and say, I'm dying, I need money for medication?
I've never put on there that I needed money for medication.
I just read this. January 6, 2018. I went to the doctor today and he said my liver was gone.
Right.
I can't expect to live much longer. If you can help with donations for my medication, please send. Please help if you can. My life depends on it.
Well, I was looking for a place that would help me with my medication.
Now, wait a minute. I just said, are you conning people when you go on the internet and say, can you give me money for my medication? And you said, I've never gone on there and said, give me money for my medication.
I forgot about that. I didn't even remember that. I didn't. But as far as being a con man, no, I'm not. I'm actually do not have the money for the medication.
Okay, so your liver's gone.
My liver is shot.
How's your heart?
My heart is very unpredictable. I mean, I don't know when chest pains are going to come on to where, you know, I have to take nitroglycerin or if I start getting diaphoretic or, you know, and having chest pains and have to call for the ambulance.
They think that you claim illness and sickness when you really don't have it.
I usually don't call anybody and tell them when I go to the hospital.
You said your doctor said he's never seen anybody take as much insulin as you.
That's exactly what he told me.
I'm a diabetic.
Yeah.
Has he ever had a diabetic that drank 12 Pepsis a day?
I have no idea. He just told me that in his whole career, he's never seen anyone take 380 units of insulin
Did
in a day.
you tell him you were drinking 12 cans of sugar a day?
Well, I didn't tell him that I was drinking. I told him, well, I did tell him my diet's not, you know, where it's supposed to be. And I've cut way back. Sometimes I drink 24 in a day.
And you smoke?
Yeah, I do smoke.
Did you tell your daughter that you had cancer?
I told her what the emergency room doctors had told me that they'd seen on the MRI or CAT scan, and they wanted me to follow up with an oncologist, and I never did.
What did he tell you?
He told me he had lymph node cancer and liver cancer.
That's what they told me, right?
Okay.
That's what his suspicions were that I had. That's what I had.
That ain't what you told her.
Well, that's what he told me, that, in his opinion, that's what I had.
And then you didn't check it out?
No, I didn't check it out because I didn't want to know.
You, who say you've been to the ER and called 911 more than people call Domino's Pizza, and you get somebody to tell you that you've got cancer and you don't even follow up on it?
No, I didn't, because I didn't care.
How many times have you been to the doctor or the ER since then?
Well, that would be for preventative. I mean, as far as if I'm having a heart attack right then, or if I'm having severe chest pains, then I know that I need to get something done to stop the chest pains.
Did you mention to them, by the way, you should know that I have liver and lymph node cancer?
No, I didn't.
Does that seem reasonable?
No, it doesn't seem, none of this seems reasonable. None of it does.
Okay, we found something we agree on.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. Okay, up next, Carl's other daughter, Heather, says her dad told her he only had 6 to 12 months to live and a 5% chance of keeping his leg. She says she is sick of his lies. We'll meet her when we come back.
That hospital out there scares me.
We have the records. You've been there twice a day.
What were the reasons I was there? Do you remember?
I'm glad you asked.
Thank you.
We're just talking about 17 and 18. And later, you don't have cancer, right?
As far as I know.
You didn't have 4 heart attacks in 4 days in a row. When you were working as a firefighter and EMT, what would you have said?
I would jump on somebody's ass for doing the same thing.
My dad does put me through hell with things that he does. My dad has cancer 1 week, and the next week he has 3 heart attacks. My dad has claimed that he's had 100 heart attacks in a year. I don't think he's ever had one real heart attack. I think he's just full of crap. I do not want him in my life right now.
Well, that was Carl's other daughter, Heather, who also says she's at a breaking point with her father, who she says fakes illnesses, including cancer. Thank you for joining us. I know this is very frustrating to you. Now, Melody is Heather and Hillary's older sister, who wrote into the show about what she calls her father's extreme Munchausen. She's joining us on Polycom today. You've been listening along, right, Melody?
Yes.
What's your answer to the why?
I don't know. I don't understand.
First off, do you think that you're maybe not as sick as you sometimes think you are?
I do feel that way, yeah. That sometimes I'm not, or I don't know if it's that or desperation, that maybe all the stuff that's been told to me from these different doctors. I don't know who's telling me, the exact straight truth.
Which doctor told you you only had a 5% chance of saving your leg?
It was, that was the vascular surgeon.
He was apparently wrong, right?
Well, I mean, no, I don't think he's wrong as far as the circulation into my foot and my leg. I don't.
You fell into 5%. You kept your foot.
Yeah, I did. So far, yeah.
Which doctor was it that said you had 6 to 12 months to live?
The doctors that was in the ER that said that if the lymph node and if it was the liver cancer, then you're not looking at long at all.
Oh, so he actually told you what he thought you had and how long you had to live?
Exactly. Sure did.
No.
No. That's all I know to tell you is what.
Well, is this guy like 12 years old? What?
No, but
because I can't find I cannot find a certified oncologist that will tell a patient that they've got 6 or 12 months to live. But yet you've got an ER doctor who does not do the scans or determine He didn't tell you what type of cancer, what stage of cancer. What he just said, I think you've got liver and lymph node cancer, and you got 6 to 12 months to live.
Well, all I can tell you is what the man told me.
You said you had stage 4 cancer also. So how would you know what stage you have?
I did not never say that.
Yes,
I don't recall ever saying that.
Well, and when was this, by the way?
About a year, not even a year ago. It might have been a year ago.
Yeah, it was a little over a year ago.
Yeah.
Which would make him wrong.
Yeah, of course.
Because you beat the odds. You beat 12 months with your foot.
Right.
And by the way, I have that ER record, and he did not write that down.
He didn't.
It is not in there.
Well,
there's not one thing in that record about them telling you anything about cancer.
Well, you know, I mean, I think I've told my kids that that hospital out there scares me. And it does. And it does.
Is this the one you go to twice a day sometimes?
Twice a day? No, I've never been there twice a day.
We have the records. You've been there twice a day.
I've been there twice.
For different symptoms.
Okay.
And they also did not say anything about cancer diagnosis.
Okay, but what were the reasons I was there? Do you remember?
Well, actually, I'm glad you asked.
Thank you.
Because here are the things that you have claimed when you have gone in. Liver and lymph node cancer, there is no record, no chemo, no radiation.
No.
No chemo, no radiation. You have said you have had bladder cancer. There is no record anywhere that you have ever been diagnosed with bladder cancer. You've never had any chemo or radiation treatment for bladder cancer. You have said you had kidney cancer. There is no record. You have had no chemo. You have had no radiation for that. You have said you had lung cancer. There is no record, and your lungs actually are clear.
Right.
You said you have had 4 heart attacks in 4 days. There is no record of you having a heart attack, and the day you said you had that, you walked home.
4 heart attacks.
From the hospital where you had the heart attack.
Okay.
And you said you had triple bypass surgery?
No, I never had bypass surgery.
No, you haven't. And there's no record of it, and your heart is normal. Okay? Broken bones? We're just talking about 17 and 18 now. This is just last year and this year so far. Broken bones, no. Mild stroke, no. Kidney failure, no. Severe leg infection. There was an ultrasound. It was negative. No amputation. 6 to 12 months to live. Well, you just didn't die.
Okay. I mean, as comical as it might sound, the broken bones, I broke both my legs and both my ankles at the same time.
In 14. That was in 2014, not in 17, 18.
No, I didn't. I never said it was in 17 or 18.
Yes,
I never
you did.
Well,
there aren't versions of the truth, and when you're just making things up, it's hard to remember when you said what to who.
I understand that too.
Coming up, Terry says Carl just has no dignity and doctor shops for prescriptions. Is Carl really sick here? We'll talk about that when we come back.
I feel that my dad is dangerous. I believe that he could kill me. He went around the house with a butcher knife and cut all the phone lines. It was one of the scariest nights. I feel that my dad is dangerous. I believe that he could kill me. About 16 years ago, my dad was on Xanax. He went around the house with a butcher knife and cut all the phone lines, told me that no one was making it out of the house alive. I slammed the bedroom door, pushed the bed and the dresser in front of it, lifted the window, and then I jumped out and ran down the street to call 911. That was one of the scariest nights that I've ever experienced. My dad is seriously disturbed and needs a lot of help.
They are being harassed and beleaguered and are really just worn out.
I understand.
They're just worn out from this.
I know that.
And you say you've had 4 heart attacks. You've not. You say your leg's going to be amputated. It isn't. You say you have cancer. You don't. You should be very happy about that. But the question is, why are you saying all of these things about your health when they're not true? And I'm concerned for 2 reasons. 1, why you're so fixated on that, and 2, the day will come when you really do have something wrong and you're kind of like the little boy who cried wolf, and nobody takes you serious because you've said it so many times, you've lost credibility, and I don't want that to happen. But look, forget about them, forget about everything. Let's just talk here, you and me. For most of your life, you've been a stud, man. You've been a firefighting EMT. You're the guy that ran into the burning building. You have been in the trenches. You have saved lives, and I thank you for your service. I truly do. And you're not finished. And you're not going to continue down the road you're going on, because I'm not going to let you do it. Thank you. Now, I'm just telling you, just one old country boy to another, you need to pull your head out of your and listen to me. You're not going to do what you're doing here. You're better than this. You're better than this.
And you know, and deep down inside, I know I am, but there's something, I don't know what type of it's a physiological effect. That something's got a hold to me that I just can't shake, and I don't know how to do it.
Are you doing too much drugs?
No,
no, seriously. No. Don't answer till you think about this. It doesn't matter if you've got a prescription for it or not. Have you gotten reliant on these drugs and they've taken away your drive? Have they taken away your focus? I mean, and listen, that happens to the best of people. It doesn't mean that you're some kind of gutter rat drug addict. You get on these prescriptions, we have lost a moral compass with these opioids and painkillers and giving these to people, and it sneaks up on them. It doesn't mean you're a bad person. It just means if you've gotten over-medicated and it's taken away your focus and your drive, you got to reach out for help. You got to throw a hand up and let somebody help you. Just tell me what's going on. Well, I'm here to help you.
I understand that, and I appreciate that.
I've looked at your medical records, and let me tell you what they're saying. On April 5th, 16, comments from the RN. Taking benzos and opiates currently does not believe he is abusing them. 9/14/17, they saw him and felt he was displaying drug-seeking behavior, which he did to me as well. 9/14/17 to 9/16/17. He is also asking for morphine IV by name for leg pain, saying that Percocet is not helping. 10/11/2017, additional history. Patient has been seen 2 other times in this emergency department this week and has not complained of similar symptoms. This is all considered drug-seeking, pill-seeking, narcotic-seeking behavior.
I understand that.
When we come back, Carl blames a tragic car accident 20 years ago for starting his downward spiral, and I could certainly understand why. We're going to find out why his daughters have a different story, though, when we come back.
Carl's a totally different person when he's doing drugs. He and I got into a fight at the hospital when my mother was passing away. First time I've ever cussed him out. While she was dying, he was down in the emergency room getting pain pills. That's disgusting. I'm not gonna have that in my life anymore.
Well, Terry and her nieces have all been shaken to the core by Carl's erratic behavior, but there's a tragic event from the past that haunts this entire family. Take a look.
Carl's daughter Jessica got killed in a car accident about a week after she turned 16. Heather was in the car with him.
I remember every detail like it was yesterday. We were T-boned on the driver's side where my sister was. I had a broken pelvis.
Jessica lived until about 4 o'clock the following morning. That hit me extremely hard. I was just inconsolable. When my daughter passed away, I started taking pain medication, much more than I needed it.
His drug progression really just skyrocketed. It pushed him to where he didn't care if he lived or not.
I was suffering from extreme grief. I covered it up with taking the pain pills. That was a terrible choice I made, and it was one that stuck with me for 16 years.
Very sorry for your loss. I'm very sorry for your loss. I lost one of my kids. They'd have to take me to the dump. You won't hear me say I know how you feel. You say after the accident your pain pill use got out of hand, and you say you know it did. You said
I
it
know
did.
It did, yeah.
You can't tell me that you don't see that your reactions here, that your perceptions here, that your involvement here is irrational.
I know exactly. I agree with you 100%.
This is not who you are. If you had, when you were working as a firefighter and EMT, and you had you on your route, your area that you were picking up 2 and 3 times a week, sometimes twice a day, taken to the ER time and time and time again, what would you have said? You pick somebody up, you brought them back, and nothing wrong with him. Pick him up, bring him back, nothing wrong with him. Pick him up, bring him back, nothing wrong with him. You'd have been said, hey, come on, stop wasting resources here.
Right.
You wouldn't have put up with that.
I've done the same thing in the field. I would jump on somebody's ass for doing the same thing.
But you recognize you don't have cancer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know you don't.
I recognize that I don't have his cancer. As far as I know, I'm just telling you now, I don't think I have it now.
You have no evidence that you have cancer?
None.
You didn't have 4 heart attacks in 4 days in a row. I mean, you are not, all of this stuff I've listed up here, you just don't have. You've just built this up in your mind, and there's a reason for it. And you've got to figure out what that reason is. And I'm willing to help you do this, and I know how to go about this if you're willing to grab on and do this.
Yes, that's why I'm here.
All right, coming up, Hillary says her dad uses her for rides, money, food, and cigarettes, and will even lie that he's been robbed of all of his groceries. You say, I haven't eaten in 20 days.
Nah, I don't.
Tell me that. You have said that.
20 days.
No, that's true. Not true.
We'll talk about that next.
My sister Hillary is still involved with my dad on a day-to-day basis. It does worry me. He does manipulate Hillary for attention, for money.
Everyone else basically is done with Carl, except for Hillary. And Hillary has a big heart, and she calls me crying. Aunt Terry, I don't know what to do. He says he's dying.
My dad preys upon my kindness. He uses it to his advantage. It is very unfair to me.
Is there any doubt in y'all's mind that he is either intentionally or unintentionally misperceiving his situation? He's not seeing this clearly. I mean, whether you think he's making it up for manipulative purposes, he's just lying and all, or not, you recognize that he's not seeing this straight.
Oh, yes.
I can't diagnose him here that would be improper for me to do because I would have to go through a whole diagnostic process. But I can tell you what would be on my short list of considerations. There would be 4 possibilities, 2 of them that would be real high on the list. One's just simple malingering, right? And simple malingering is just what it sounds like. It's the intentional reporting of fabricated symptoms motivated by a clearly recognizable goal, like money or avoiding responsibilities or obtaining drugs or whatever. This is when they just make stuff up, just totally fabricate something for some kind of gain. Right. Another possibility is somatic symptom disorder, and that is abnormal thoughts, feelings, and behaviors in response to perceived physical symptoms, even when there is evidence to the contrary. They perceive it, even when there's evidence to the contrary. If you have cancer, well, you don't. I've had a heart attack. Well, your heart's fine. What you have to be willing to do is say, I'm not going to be part of the conversation. I'm not going to be part of the dialogue. I'm not going to respond. You just don't have to respond. Just, if you don't react, then you don't reinforce. And if you don't reinforce, then here's what you can expect. It'll get worse. It's called the extinction effect. When he's done something and he gets a reaction, and he does something, he gets a reaction, does something, gets a reaction, all of a sudden he doesn't, you go, oh, well, I just need to do more. I just need to say it louder. And so it'll go up, 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 and then he goes, oh, well, I guess I'm not going to get a reaction, then it'll stop. You need to take care of yourselves. And I'm going to tell you why that's okay. Because whatever's going on here is way above your skill set. You're not trained for this. You don't have the sensitivities, the understanding to deal with this. So you couldn't fix it if you want to, but I'm going to help him with this. Okay, so you got to give yourself permission to say, I'm going to let others handle this. Mm-hmm. So think about that. When we come back, I'm going to talk about a plan to get him on the right track, which helps this whole family move forward. We'll be right back. There's 3 things that I want you to do for me, okay?
Okay.
Number 1, I want to find out where you really are. I want to send you to a real diagnostic team. And I want you to agree to let them report back to me, and I'm talking in detail what's going on with you. I want to send you to the P&P Center in Dallas, Texas. And I want them to do a full evaluation of everything about you, which would seem to be playing into your preoccupation with this. But I want to get a baseline of where you are. Number 2, I want to get you engaged with a therapist. And I can do this. You have a computer, right? I can do this through Doctor On Demand. And Doctor On Demand is a company that I have with my son Jay, and it's an app you can download on your computer, and you can do it from anywhere you are, whether it's home or on the road or wherever. You can come face-to-face with a board-certified and licensed therapist that can work with you from the privacy of your own home and work through these issues. And I'm going to handpick this person, and I'm going to show them this whole exchange that we've had and give them the whole file that I have to start working with you. Then third, I'm going to get you a trainer, and you're going to start working on your health instead of your sickness. You're going to start working on getting yourself in shape. So what do you think about that plan?
I think that's an excellent plan. and
All right.
that's something I really want to do.
All right. You got to do it. All right. If you at home want to have your own Doctor on Demand, go to Google Play Store or iTunes App Store, and you can download the Doctor on Demand app. It truly is great. I want to thank all of my guests today, and a special thanks to Dr. Frank Lawless at the P&P Center, where we're going to get a good baseline on him. For more information about today's show, you can log on to drphil.com. Tell us what you think on Facebook and Twitter, and you're going to let us know how things go as we move forward, right?
Yes, sir.
Does this sound like a plan to you guys?
Thank you. Thank you.
I also want to offer some help to you because you have carried a burden here, and I really think it's kept you from attending to yourselves about your loss. And grief is not a mental illness, but it is a process. And to the extent that you feel like you need it, I want to make that available to you as well. Fair enough?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
We'll see you next time.